State Representative, Position 2 in the 22nd District. And what moved me to come here tonight is that this issue affects me in two ways. One, I have friends that are going to be affected by these layoffs. They work at Maple Lane, and they're already being affected by what's happening. The other reason this affects me is because I have an uncle who was mentally injured, and if he would have had an institution like Maple Lane back in the 70s when he needed it, he wouldn't be in the situation that he's in today. It disappoints me, but unfortunately I'm not surprised at this move to close Maple Lane. If it's a pattern where the most vulnerable among us always seem to be swept aside first, if it's a pattern of fiscal irresponsibility on the part of our incumbent leaders, and if it's a pattern of putting new construction before our workers, it's a pattern. This school closure is a classic example of how our legislature puts things before people. The state says they are cutting and can cut no more as they raise spending every single year. They tell us they must close Maple Lane to save $5.8 million a year, while they borrow nearly $16 million to rebuild the capacity of this school elsewhere, while the massively troubled children they provide specialty care for are turned over to become victims of the general population in tougher facilities. It's a pattern where our state cries poverty while building $255 million buildings too big for the agency it was built to house, while creating a leasing deal for the developer and his friends that rates 50% above anything this community has ever seen. They tell us that their monument to government is so unique, so fashionable, so special, that the people get to pay rent after they've bought it. And then they tell us they can cut no more. They show us through actions that these things are more important than our workers. Our duty to take care of our weakest neighbors can wait for the legislature's desire to add another state-of-the-art building on the Capitol campus. It's a pattern, ladies and gentlemen, that needs to end. It's time to make a new pattern, one where workers and the mentally ill aren't on the chopping block before borrowing for unneeded capacity. A new pattern where we make sure we have enough people working to get the job done before we need a fancy new building. A new pattern where lawmakers shop for some empty space to rent before putting taxpayers on the hook to pay taxes, fees, interest, and lease rent for the same property while passing the cost along not just to those taxpayers, but on the social services they paid those taxes to receive in the first place. I'm here to be that alternative. I'm Justin Kover. My campaign is about open government, truth in budgeting, and protecting our initiative process. I will always be a vote against state worker layoffs and benefit cuts, and I will do more than write a letter to make sure that Maple Lane stays open. Thank you.